The project Sustainable Energy in Ukraine is organized by the Saxion University of Applied Science and a number of partners as an assignment of the Dutch Ministry of Economic Affairs, Innovations and Agriculture.
NewSEP is the Netherlands-Ukraine Sustainable Energy Platform. I'm the secretary of the board of NewSEP, and we start in 2010 with this cross project and start a sustainable education program between the Dutch universities and the Ukraine universities with knowledge. We think that knowledge of sustainability is necessary with students, with the younger people, to change something in Ukraine.
We are organizing a masterclass together with 5 Dutch companies and 3 Ukrainian universities. We work in 3 cities, Lutsk, Kyiv and Odessa, and 3 universities, Lutsk National Technical University, Kyiv Polytechnic University and Odessa State Technical University.
We made a proposal, a modernization of energy efficiency of our building of our Lutsk State Technical University, which is situated on the street, on Potebny 56th Street, and we decided to warm our building and to use more efficient boilers. We are going to use not much resources, energy. We can use them more efficient, and of course if we transform these resources into money, we'll have not profits but economy, and this economy we can spend on education. But I found out different energy efficient technologies, but not from the theory but from the practical usage of it. I mean real experience.
Ukraine is very traditional in their energy grid, not easy to change that. The main problem in the beginning was also that they have no ideas to change that, and they want all the changing coupling on the traditional grid. But after some good discussions with them, they saw that it was also necessary to think in a total new grid for sustainable energy ideas. And in my opinion, they found also ideas and solutions for this new thinking in Ukraine.
We dealt with processing of waste of the wood processing company and suggested production of pellets out of this waste. I think this proposal is very attractive because, first of all, the company saves energy, second of all, it saves costs. And of course, the other industries that work together with this company get their pluses as well. I think there is always a space for improvement, and this applies also to sustainable energy in Ukraine. We suggested the use of biogas installation on the basis of sugar beet plants in Lutsk in Volyn region.
But this project, it looks to be at first look similar or simple, but when in fact you start to go into details, it gets wider and wider. So for students, I believe it's very nice to see the interrelation of all factors and systems involved.
Masterclass education is more practical. There is minimum theory, and we worked more than 1 month on a practical assignment. This brings, of course, good results, and the presentations of today are a proof of this.
And it also makes sense to consider maybe on creating of some maybe practical energy management center with practical installations working, like for example some little biogas reactor, not real industrial scale, but people and interested companies, and also maybe there can be invited some specialists from Europe. They will bring and present, so you will see all data. So it should be just promoted by government as well. Because if I have, for example, biogas factory, I'm not interested to promote it. I have it, and it's working already. And also, it's sort of like a commercial secret. So this should be an independent organization who would bring it to publicity. When you have this project, it also helps to universities, because the teachers who teach students, they also should be taught, because development goes, technology develops, and those teachers maybe they got their education maybe 10, 20 years ago, maybe even 30. So it's also good for them to participate and then can make these works together with students.
Wat is de NuSEP?
NuSEP staat voor Netherlands Ukrainian Sustainable Energy Platform. En in Nederland is dat een vereniging van bedrijven die actief zijn op het gebied van duurzame energie, energy efficiency. En die op zoek zijn naar kansen in Oekraïne op het gebied van energiebesparing en energy efficiency.
Kun je vertellen wat je van de projecten van de studenten vond?
Ik vond dat hele grondige presentaties. Het is wel te zien dat er veel aan de presentatie en aan de projecten is gewerkt. Er zijn in totaal 5 projecten. En ik vond dat daar een heel scherp verschil is tussen heel haalbare projecten en projecten die iets meer innovatief zijn en die zijn misschien nog een beetje te vroeg voor Oekraïne.
Welke is volgens jou een echt voorbeeld van een innovatief project?
Dat was de Energy Farm. Dat is een heel ingewikkeld concept met heel veel nieuwe technologie daarin en met toch een bescheiden investering voor de grootte van het project. Dus ik vind dat de innovatie, er is heel veel innovatiever gehalte in het project, maar tegelijkertijd de risico's voor het daadwerkelijk realiseren van zo'n project zijn behoorlijk groot.
Waar moeten zijn? Noem daar eens een voorbeeld van wat in jouw visie echt een haalbaar project is.
Dat is absoluut de wood processing. Want dat is op kleine en middelgrote schaal haalbaar. Alle grondstoffen zijn beschikbaar. Het is een technologie van gisteren die daarvoor ingezet wordt. Het is eigenlijk wel gek dat nog niet overal in Oekraïne aanwezig is. Dus ik vind het ook heel goed dat nu de nadruk op daarop wordt gelegd.
Hoe komt het dat dit soort projecten dan kennelijk toch lastig gerealiseerd kunnen worden?
Ja, dat heeft te maken met de stabiliteit van Oekraïne, beschikbaarheid van financiering en ook de korte termijn visie van projecteigenaren en eigenaren van de bedrijven. Dus ik denk dat in de houtverwerkingsindustrie een hele korte termijn visie nastreeft en daardoor niet eens nadenkt over de houtsnippers, over de reststromen van de houtverwerking.
Je noemde zelf stabiliteit als argument. Waarom is stabiliteit een factor in deze situatie?
Nou, in deze specifieke situatie in de houtsector heeft te maken met het feit dat in Oekraïne de meeste boswachterijen zijn in staatsbeheer. En het is niet mogelijk om daar langere termijn contracten mee af te sluiten. Dus als een houtzagerij koop je hout in voor 1 seizoen, dus of voor 1 jaar, en je kunt niet langere termijn contracten met de boswachterij afsluiten voor de levering van die grondstoffen. En het heeft te maken met het rechtelijke kader, maar ook met de hele machtswisseling. Want die boswachterijen zijn weer afhankelijk van de lokale overheden. En die zijn verre van stabiel. Die worden ook tussentijds gekozen. De wisseling van de politiek op lokaal niveau betekent vaak het wisselen van alle sleutelfiguren. Dus je kunt geen vertrouwen hebben in de langere termijn besluitvorming in Oekraïne.
Geloof je in duurzaamheid voor Oekraïne uiteindelijk?
Ik geloof het wel, alleen dat moet wel met kleine stappen gebeuren. En de maatschappij moet nog wel veel stappen vooruit doen om die corruptie van zich af te schudden.
There are large chances on environmental development in Ukraine because there's a lot of waste. Waste is now disposed and is not reused, and there are a lot of possibilities to reuse waste to produce new goods and also energy out of it. So it gives a lot of possibilities for development. The business cases which are worked out by the students make a lot of environmental steps because all the waste will be reused in their proposals. So it gives an enormous benefit for the environment in Ukraine.
Ми проводили дослідження в плані того, що
We made research about possibilities in Kyiv as regards collection, transport and processing of waste.
паперові відходи. І в нас така
We developed a proposal regarding collection of paper waste at office centers, big networks of supermarkets and other shops. We bring this waste to our factory and then process it.
та інших продуктових магазинів. Також ми ці відходи привозимо на свій власний завод і переробляємо.
I think it gives a lot of employment and it's new business, which gives a lot of opportunities also to get jobs in waste to energy sector, and also it's ecological but also economically very interesting for them.
We propose to build greenhouses on the basis of alternative energy sources. These greenhouses will function within the factory, processing the household solid waste. We process this household waste into gas, oil, diesel and solid fuels.
В результаті проведення досліджень ми
As a result of our research, we created an ESCO company which is called Build New World. As an example, we took a hospital that exists actually and is located in Kyiv. We studied the energy problems of this hospital and suggested some energy saving activities and some alternative solutions to the problems at stake.
планували певні заходи з енергозбереження і також вирішення цих проблем.
Galina, you're working for KPI. Can you tell me what KPI is?
KPI it's a very big and very old university, one of the biggest in Europe. It's about 40,000 students.
Well, you were very involved in the projects of the students. What do you think that the students learned from those projects?
I think that at first I would like to tell that it's a very special project. We have never have before such type of experience concerning how we can implement sustainable thinking and sustainable action with involving students as equal participants.
We paid attention, Galina, to sustainability, the sustainability aspects of the cases the students were working on. Why do you think that sustainability is important for Ukraine?
You know that Ukraine has a lot of climatic zone, and we have every type of renewable energy sources, and just should implement correct project, energy efficiency project for correct zone, climatic zone.
What are the barriers to introduce sustainable energy projects in Ukraine?
I think there are many reasons. It's not exactly that we don't know how to prepare project connected with sustainable project or renewable energy source, alternative energy sources. Sometimes it's like a missing link between customers, companies, and investors, and specialists. And maybe this is one group of obstacles or difficulties. And my opinion that we have only one way for safe and wealthy society in future, not only for Ukraine but for all countries. It's sustainable approach in every direction of human society activities.
You're here with a very big team from KSB. Why is Ukraine of interest for KSB?
Ukraine is interesting because we see it as a market for the future. And if a market is going to develop, then you need to be there at the beginning, supporting and training the people and getting them used to the KSB name and to get them to know our products. Because it's a lot of work at the beginning, but it will bear fruits in the next few years.
If you compare the developments of a market like Ukraine compared to the West European markets, do you think that the growth will be bigger here?
If you see it in a percentually, yes. Because there is a lot of potential here to grow, and we need to start somewhere. Okay, the markets in the West, they're saturated more or less. Whereas the markets, the Ukrainian market, or for example the Russian market, there is a lot more potential there that hasn't been exploited yet.
Well, you are representing a big company, international company. I'm sure that this company is doing a lot of analysis of potential of the different countries and the risks. What do you see as the risks for sustainable energy in Ukraine?
I believe it would probably be the readiness to invest, because it's new technology and there is always a risk with new technology. Is it going to work? How it's going to develop? Will it just be a huge bubble which will burst, or would it really be something for the future? And it's really convincing the banks and the investors to invest in this type of energy and making them see that it is really for the future. Because everybody's traditional oil and gas, whereas sustainable energy and renewable energies, that is really something we're going to have forever.
So
So the case I've been working on was related to energy efficiency and renewable energy for buildings. So it was about reducing, and it is basically the first step, reducing the energy consumption. And then you could do that in different ways, but usually by, let's say, packaging the building, applying double glazing and insulation. So that's quite straightforward technology. That's not too sophisticated, so to say. And if possible, and we have also discussed that in the different groups, the application of renewable energy, either solar energy on the rooftops, or we also discussed to use biomass to be used in boilers in the different building blocks, and also geothermal. So that was discussed, but I think the basis was in the energy efficiency, and that's the most important thing to start with.
During our research, we have seen that the old houses are not isolated and have old windows. We suggest people to make isolation with mineral wool and change wooden windows into plastic one. This will lead to noise isolation and diminishing of payments for heat and other services. We suggest people a higher comfort for lower costs. People will economize on services and decrease energy use. That leads on its turn to development of energy efficiency in Ukraine.
I think it will require a lot of effort still to make this, or to have this conceptual business, so to say, to make it realistic business. So, we know from practice that there are a lot of, practicalities that you have to deal with before you are actually in business and have a profitable business. So we also have never said that it's quick business. It's not a quick buck what we are doing, and that's often with sustainability and sustainability issues. You have to look into the future and take into account a more long-term perspective.
I've been working on the case AgroCircle Energy Farm. And an energy farm is a farm where biomass is grown and bioenergy and other biofuels is consumed and produced. I think the proposal of the students was very creative, but it lacks some deep business planning. And especially the economic aspects of the business cases were not good enough. If I needed more so that I can see that it is a really good business case and we can really realize the business case. The government has to stimulate sustainable energy, and for bioenergy and biomass in particular, we need private land ownership so that we can attract investments. I think nowadays the energy is focused on reduction of import and on prices, and I think we have to focus on sustainability, and I think the opportunities are there for exporting to the EU, European Union, and when we focus on the really sustainability factors, then this is a perfect business opportunity.
Why is it so difficult to let sustainability projects start?
I do not think it is complicated, and I do not think that there is no basis for understanding of these problems. There is well an information vacuum, and there is a need to be able to explain these challenges in an accessible way to Ukrainian customers. I think we need to present these projects in such a way that Ukrainian companies will get interested in this project. In the same time, we need to involve the Dutch companies and governmental organizations in order to help Ukrainian companies to realize those sustainable energy initiatives.
well, you added to the NTA 8080 one extra criterion, publicity. Can you explain why you needed that criterion for the application of the NTA 8080 for Ukraine?
When we interpreted the NTA 8080 standards to Ukrainian realities, we've learned that publicity is not a novelty for the EU countries and the Netherlands. It is an everyday policy in those countries. For Ukraine, it is quite a new concept. From our experience and from the experience of our commercial organization partners, we have learned that publicity provides you with sustainability in all aspects of company functioning. Especially this holds for Ukrainian realities, where publicity helps you to alleviate the artificially created problems by the tax administration or other Ukrainian authorities. When company is public, it doesn't get on a corruption hook. When a company works publicly with all partners, it creates a different mindset. It changes the mindset of local communities, but also all partners in the chain. People start believing that it is possible to work honestly in our country. And this creates a new mindset and a new political mindset of Ukrainians. What methodology is used in the masterclass? Usually Ukrainian students learn more theory, and a lot of what they learn in the class is not applicable in further real life. That is why making matches between theory and practical application is so crucial. The masterclass program differs from the regular education in that it is attached to the real objects. The companies are involved that have real practical experience, instead of canonized, idealistic examples or equations from the books. Regular lectures do not give us an objective worldview. This masterclass gave us an opportunity to learn more about real companies, the real processes in these companies, and the real economic situation in the state. It gave us also hope for the future. The books will not write about this. Masterclass is a practice. I have the feeling that this masterclass gives a lot of space for creativity. There is a certain direction given, but how it fills in depends on the team. It depends on the interests, on the possibilities, and on the skills of the team members. During the program, I've learned to have more stamina, be more serious and self-confident, and follow my own goals. I also learned to have a wider vision that is not restricted by only my field of work.
Это превратить текст в брошюру.